Good morning, guys. Back in Texas and back to real life. I have to tell you, I just opened my freezer after not being home for about a week, and I saw just on the side of the freezer all of this vanilla ice cream has spilled and is frozen on the inside. You want to know what I did? I just closed that sucker right back up. I said, I will handle that later, but not now. Not now. You're gonna see, you're eating your waffles. We're eating waffles. We're happy. Drinking some tea. I mean, it's all good. It's 30. You want some Liberty would like some coffee. She's 2. So let me get on that for her. We make special coffee. You want some special coffee? Okay. We make special coffee, which is chocolate milk in a fancy cup. Okay. So, actually, the weather here in Texas, it's 30 degrees, which is cold in Texas. And one of the big stories of the day is this horrible, what they're calling polar vortex that's happening in a wide swath of the country, really in the Midwest. But a lot of you are being affected by it, which makes me think I should totally make a SmartHER News parka, which maybe next year I should be on, just to make sure you guys are wrapped up in SmartHER News and warm all day. That's what I should do. I was thinking about that this morning. Anyways, the cold is supposed to be really bad. You know, when you get to this sort of area of 45 degrees below freezing, I mean, how is that even a thing? But it's really dangerous, of course, and it can be really, really scary on the road. So be careful out there. And if you're traveling or you're in places where the weather's not that bad, like I was out in San Diego just the other day, you know, the reality is that travel problems get affected nationwide. So this could be a really tough week just in general for travel. So that's a big story of the day, just the terrible weather that's happening in a big part of the country. A couple other things I just want to tell you really quick. Hopefully I can get it before I have to make this hot chocolate because I don't have a free hand. I looked in more to this supposed framework peace deal with the Taliban. And I just want to tell you a little bit about that. That was big news that came out yesterday. Okay, we're in different states of dress. Trace, it's 30 degrees. You have to wear pants. But we'll bring those to school. See, we're just in the California mode. So I looked into a little bit into this peace deal that was being sort of announced yesterday between the United States and the Taliban. That's way overselling it. Let me just say this. The envoy or the representative of America who's been meeting with different key figures, whether it's Pakistan or the Taliban representatives or the Afghan government, said there is a framework in place for us to work with. We have no details and we have no commitments. So those are a lot of things that they do not have. And what's really interesting is you could actually follow the U.S. representative on Twitter. He's a fascinating guy. He actually grew up in Afghanistan, has served as our ambassador in Iraq.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about this man who's helping us negotiate in Afghanistan.
That's where Travis was.
That's right. That's where, Trey said that's where Travis was, which is good. I'm going to bring up Travis in a second. Uncle Travis. So
Uncle Travis was at the Alamo.
Uncle Travis was not at the Alamo, but he was in Afghanistan.
No.
The other Travis was at the Alamo.
It died.
Okay, so they're actually helping me here. This is actually true. Not that Travis Mills was at the Alamo, but that we're going to talk a little bit about Travis Mills. Okay. So you could follow the special envoy on Twitter. I'll put his link so you guys can just check out what he's saying as he's meeting with these different people. He was the ambassador to Iraq, ambassador to Afghanistan, worked at the UN, worked mainly under the Bush administration, but has been around for years. And he grew up in Afghanistan. So he's super interesting. I want to read his book that was published a couple years ago.
He only lives in Maine.
Our friend, Travis Mills, lives in Maine. Travis Mills is a quadruple amputee. He lost both arms and both legs fighting in Afghanistan in his 3rd deployment. He's among the 20,000 plus Americans who have been wounded in Afghanistan. Around 2,200 have been killed in action there, including a Green Beret just last week that got very little attention.
You know why?
Why?
Because the bad guys fought it.
Yeah, the bad guys were there. And that's what Trace is proving, that, you know, Uncle Travis he was fighting the Taliban. And this is what is the irony of all of this, that America is now negotiating with the very people that we are fighting. There are those that say, well, we should negotiate with the Taliban. They're the strongest political unit in the country. They control more territory than anyone else. Yes, we fought them, but if we could agree to some sort of peace deal that would allow us both to benefit, and that's really tough, that would be best. But there are different group thinks in, yes.
I want to joke, but where did Liberty put this gun, this bullet from me for this?
I don't know where the bullet for that gun is, but I will help you, I promise. There's a lot of different groups think in Washington about what we should do with the Taliban. There are those that say you can't trust the Taliban. They're friends with Al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda has wanted to attack America. Remember 9/11? It was the Taliban that gave safe haven to Al-Qaeda. That's why we're there. But then you,
Mommy?
yes.
What's my bullet gun?
Where's your bullet gun? I don't know. I'll try to find it. Talking.
My bullet gun is in my room.
Okay, go get it. Okay. But then you have others that say, hold on. There are others that say we can negotiate with the Taliban because they don't want to attack America. And this is putting it very bluntly, but they just want to terrorize their own people. You know, they just want the women in the head to toe blue gowns, those burqas, and they're just interested in Afghanistan. So we're just going to give them Afghanistan, because when is the last time that you heard a Taliban member come to America trying to do harm? So here's the sort of, intellectual arguments, very general on both sides, about whether or not we should do this. But it looks like we are, and it is the priority of the State Department to do so. It's the priority of the U.S. military to make sure that Afghanistan is never a place that could harbor terrorism or terrorists that will attack America. Big question about whether or not we could trust the Taliban to make sure other terrorists don't make a home there. Okay, so I just want to put that...
I can't find my bullet in Liberty's room.
Okay, well, I will try to help you. So those are the big things that are happening when it comes to Afghanistan, the sort of tension. It's interesting. I love, by the way, the academics. I have a couple really good friends that are academics that are that look into this area in Afghanistan and want to, present different opinions, and they're great. But I always have to remind myself that they've never been to Afghanistan. And a lot of the folks that are directing some of the policy, with the exception of, I'm going to say his name wrong, Zalmay, I believe is his first name, which is the U.S. Special Envoy. He's been to Afghanistan, and he's negotiating on our behalf. Let's see what happens. This is definitely a story to watch, and we'll see. Quick thing, just want to tell you really fast. You know the guys that we released from Guantanamo Bay? The ones that we released a couple years ago in exchange for Bo Bergdahl? Well, they were supposed to go to Qatar, Qatar. That's where they were supposed to go, and they weren't supposed to go right back to Afghanistan or the tribal areas of Pakistan. And supposedly they're working in the political office, the Taliban's political office in Qatar that we are working with. So we're essentially working with the same people that we imprisoned so many years ago. Can't make this stuff up. I don't know what to say about that. Okay, so that's what's happening when it comes to Afghanistan. I think it's super important. What does this become? I'm not sure. Be curious your thoughts on that. Finally, I want to tell you this. This is a really good story. Give me 1 second. There's a waffle on the table. Will you eat your waffle? Do you see it? Okay. There's a story out of Texas about a what they call an unaccompanied veteran. This is a veteran that passed away that did not have any known family or friends to attend a funeral. And he was given a full military burial yesterday in Killeen, Texas. Bring it over here. And okay, we'll bring it over here. I'm almost done. Anyhow, there was a kind of an open invitation. Liberty Josephine, come over here.
No.
Do you want to know who we should have negotiating on our behalf? Liberty Josephine. She does not suffer fools. Anyways, about 1,000 people showed up to this funeral. It was an open invitation to the public. And it was just like an amazing event. But one of the things I looked into, hold on, was that about 1,000 people attended a very similar funeral in Nebraska of an unaccompanied veteran. And about 1,000 people just attended a funeral for an unaccompanied veteran in New Jersey. So this idea of 1,000 people showing up for an unaccompanied veteran is something that has actually happened over the last several weeks en masse in America. So it's not just Texas, although I love Texas and I'm here.
Mommy.
It's a lot of different places. So have faith. I mean, look at the good people, the strangers that are showing up for other people.
Mommy.
And it's happening in a lot of places. Okay, I gotta go.
Mommy.
Oh, really? And one in South Carolina. Thank you. If you just search it, you're seeing it's an amazing amount of people that are coming out. All right, guys, I gotta go. Have a great day. Please DM us about what you'd like to hear a little bit more about. If you see any news stories you'd like to hear more about, I'd love to make sure we get you what you need, just like Liberty. Have a great day, guys. I'll talk to you later. Oh, my gosh, I forgot. Today is such a big day on SmartHER News. I'll tell you all about it later, but maybe I'll jump on a little bit later this afternoon. I want to show you guys what I'm talking about, but we have some really exciting news, a partnership that we are announcing today, and it deserves its own, its kind of own thing. So I'll tell you a little bit about it later today, okay? Bye, guys. Check out our site.